Don't Look Up, out on Netflix, new film made by Adam McKay, who was making all those silly comedies with Will Ferrell for years. And then he suddenly pivoted and made The Big Short, which was really amazing, and then Vice, which I thought was really good. The critics thought it was okay-ish. And now this, a political satire starring Leo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Kate Blanchett, Rob Morgan, Jonah Hill, Mark Rylance, Tyler Perry, Timothy Chalamet, Ron Perlman, Ariana Grande, and Kid Cudi. The plot is this. DiCaprio and Lawrence are a pair of astronomers who discover a massive comet heading straight towards Earth. It will definitely hit the planet in just 6 months, and the result will be the total annihilation of life on Earth. They immediately go with this news to the White House and then to the media, but bizarrely, it doesn't really do anything. Some people simply don't believe them, some disregard this news as unimportant, some don't want to cause panic and just sweep it under the rug, and other people just seemingly don't understand the implications of this. Some are just unable to accept the truth. And the movie goes from there into this hard satire of politics, media, tech billionaires, and celebrity culture. Now, let's be straight, it's not subtle at all, and there are obvious parallels to climate change, but also to the ongoing pandemic. But I don't think it being not subtle is a bad thing. On the contrary, if anything, the pandemic has shown us that people can be monumentally idiotic, and trying to be subtle is just not going to work. So the movie instead goes all out with its absurdity, but again, we've seen examples of such absurdity in real life already, so perhaps it's not as bizarre as it should be. And because we know these examples, it is actually quite infuriating to see them in this film, in a good, intended way. I was really getting anxious together with the astronomer characters, progressively more uneasy about the responses of other people, particularly people in power. There's a lot of commentary on greed, incompetence, power trips, vanity, arrogance, and so on, and for the most part it lands. DiCaprio is very good in the role, and I thought to myself, this was an interesting one for him because he's very picky when it comes to films. He only makes a single movie every couple of years, and I thought to myself, this is an unusual one for him because on paper I could actually see dozens of other different people playing this role and the movie would still be fine. It's not a role that needed DiCaprio. But of course, he nails it anyway. He elevates the script with his mannerisms and little ways in which he brings the character to life. So I thought to myself, while he wasn't necessarily needed, he definitely makes the most out of the role, and he does things that I think other actors wouldn't. And of course, it was probably a personal statement for him as well, seeing as he's involved in climate activism quite heavily. Also, the makeup department has done a bang-up job of making him look very ordinary and unattractive in the early parts of the film. Lawrence is also very good. She had that stretch of movies where it seemed she didn't care anymore. Then she didn't do anything for a couple of years, and now she's back with a very enjoyable performance. Mark Rylance is definitely the show stealer with his creepy CEO shtick. He's like, Bezos and Zuckerberg and a couple of others rolled into one. He's got these awful fake teeth which are so white and so even that they're too perfect and they make him look like a robot. And he definitely has this vibe of someone very polite and kind who is actually a total sociopath right underneath the surface. Now, I do think there are some issues. I thought that the pacing was a bit off in the last act of the film. Perhaps Ariana Grande and Kid Cudi are a bit unnecessary as characters and could be cut for time. Some of the gags didn't land quite as well as the others. The movie also, for a very long time, acts like this is a US only issue. I would have liked for it to be more global, to show the responses around the globe, because come on, a comet coming for Earth is not just an American problem, but the movie kind of makes you feel, I'm sure the Americans won't even notice it, but it makes it seem like the whole world is just the United States of America, which is a bit weird. But hey, overall I thought it was a solid movie, and I'm quite happy it's on Netflix, because between its availability and the draw power of DiCaprio, there's a solid chance that a lot of people will see it, which I hope leaves some sort of lesson in their brains, because Lord knows, society as a whole could definitely use it.